Okay, so we have here a harmonium that one of my students owns. He purchased this from Pakrashi and Company. They shipped it from India to him in Florida here. I thought it was quite expensive for this harmonium. Let me open it up and you'll see what he has. In this harmonium, the handle was broken off within about 2 months of this harmonium being purchased from Pakrashi. And that's one of the things that I see with these Indian instruments. The quality of especially things like handles and locks and so on, is not very good quality, and especially a harmonium that you would travel with like this one, it would need to have a more sturdy handle. I had the same problem with my harmonium. So it seems like a general problem with instruments, and maybe I might even go to so far as to say different products coming out of India. They need to improve on the quality of the parts that go into the instruments. This harmonium, I have to say, however, the actual build quality of all the wooden parts and so on, they fit pretty well, fairly good quality there, but they need to improve upon the components, the metal components and so on that are installed on the harmonium. Okay, so this is the Pakrashi harmonium opened up, and as you can see, this harmonium is actually about the same size like the other harmonium I showed earlier. This harmonium we have a transpose function or shift key, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side. The central position is standard, as you can see on the top here. Standard position, and then you can move in either direction. If you remove the top from it, you can see it's the same. I'm not going to open it. It does have 3 sets of reeds. It's a reasonably good harmonium. As I said before, I think he overpaid for this harmonium a little bit. Pakrashi is pretty good at marketing their stuff on the internet, so you would see a lot of Pakrashi harmoniums around. I'm not recommending any particular harmonium, but I think this harmonium plays well, but I still prefer my harmonium to this. I'm not sure what the cost of that harmonium would be today. Here is a basic harmonium that probably a lot of beginners start with this type of harmonium. We'll take a look at this harmonium. This is, you can see here, I guess this is the music house that sells the harmonium, and it's a fairly tall instrument. We can look around. Again, we have the music house that sells the harmonium. They have their sticker on it, and we will remove the top from the harmonium, and here is what we have. This one, I have had this for a while. This is one of my students' harmonium. You will notice the top of one of the keys here is broken. I don't know if it was misuse or what the problem was there. We can look at this harmonium again. The harmonium, this one, you can open up the valves and have airflow through. We have also the harmonium, the drones also. This harmonium is a coupled harmonium as well. Coupled meaning, as I said before, when you press one key, the same key in another octave is depressed. So in this case it's coupled upwards, because when we play the C note in the middle octave, the C note in the higher octave is also played. We can also do this, which you can see that is where the coupling works. This harmonium actually has two sets of reeds, which most of the beginner harmoniums do. This system is a little bit different. The mechanism is different because it's not shifting, so they can afford to use this type of spring here to hold the key down. This one, the bellows are open in the center, so it's a little bit different. So I can leave it open for now. This is probably the most inexpensive type of harmonium you can buy, and it's well suited for a beginner. I do not recommend someone who is beginning to play harmonium buy anything really more than this. Maybe I'll show you another type of harmonium, the last one, shortly, which I would recommend for the beginner as well. And what are you looking for? Really, you are not looking for a lot of features in the harmonium. The harmonium is a basic harmonium, and the sound is what really matters. And we'll talk about the sound of the harmonium and so on at the end. So we'll move on to the next harmonium. Okay, so here is another harmonium which I am showing you the case. This is my harmonium as well. As you can tell by now, when I buy instruments, I make sure they have a proper case. If they are not sold with a good case, I actually get a case custom made for the instrument. So this is what it looks like, and I will open it up and show you the harmonium. This is the harmonium when taken out from the case. You would see the harmonium is scratched, and this is how I received the harmonium. This harmonium was given to me actually, and then I made the case for it and so on. So you can see harmonium. This harmonium, I will show you the brand and so on shortly, but this harmonium, it's a very, I think, ingenious way of doing the harmonium. It's very small and portable, compact and portable. You can see this side here, very simply made. We have a little hook on each side, and then the top folds out, and I'll show you what when it's raised up, what happens. Okay, so the harmonium, as I said, small and portable, is in a case. It folds out. This is what I would recommend for a student who has to travel with harmonium. because it's light and portable and so on. And actually the sound on this, I like the sound of this harmonium. This harmonium, it's an old harmonium made by Bina. Now I have to caution you here that I've seen many imitation Binas around, and I will have a little discussion on that afterwards when looking for the harmonium, what we should be looking at. So this is just like the other harmonium, other student harmonium, except in this case the harmonium folds out and it's portable. Same mechanism, it has 2 sets of reeds and so on. But I really do like this harmonium as a student harmonium. I would recommend this type of harmonium. Bina is not the only company that makes this type of instrument. There are many others who make the same type of instrument. Okay, here is a view of the harmonium, and what I want to point out on the harmonium would be the things to look for when purchasing a harmonium. First of all, if we look at this harmonium is made from high quality teak wood, and that determines the sound quality as well as the build of the harmonium. The cheaper harmoniums are usually made with pine or some other type of wood. If you are looking for a high quality harmonium, a teak wood would usually be top quality. When you look at the harmonium itself, what you should be looking at, in general, would be how well the harmonium looks, first of all. And I don't mean just superficially. What I'm talking about would be how well the parts fit together. Are there any spaces, large spaces, and all of that stuff. Now, let's take a look first of all at the keyboard. What you would notice is this harmonium, all the keys are flat. That's the very first thing that tells you that it's adjusted properly, the keys are adjusted properly, and it's a good indication that this harmonium was built properly. That's number one. However, unlike a keyboard, where if you look at a keyboard from a major manufacturer, whether it's Yamaha or Casio or whoever it may be, there's a space, there's a definite space between the keys. In a harmonium, that space is very, very small and lends itself to problems. For instance, if I play this harmonium and I have to make an adjustment on this myself very soon, what you will see is that when I press one of the keys and releases it, it makes that noise. However, this one is louder, that is louder, that's not, and so on. And that particular key, or those keys that are making noise, usually it's because there is no spacing and one key is hitting the other and making that noise. So that's something I'll have to remove the key and take care of myself. The other thing is, if we open the top of the harmonium, and this is also a good indication of how well the harmonium is built. The spacing here between these, for want of a better word, levers that open and close when we press the key, the spacing should be all equal. It has to be equal, because when we shift, they must all line up anyhow. Now, If you are purchasing a harmonium, I would advise that you shift it to the next position, see if they still line up, see if the keys are still flat, and so on. So that's something that you should be looking for. Also, the coupler here, if you pull this out or push it in and you see variations in the keys, then the harmonium needs adjustment. Now I'm simply speaking about this harmonium here. This is a shifting or shift key or transpose, mechanical transpose, however you want to describe the harmonium. Then the hardware that is used on the harmonium, the metal parts, or in many cases, for instance, this harmonium was purchased originally with plastic parts, which I had to replace. The locks to close the harmonium, all of those items, you need to look at them. These plates, for instance, the quality of the plates and the chrome on the plates, if you see it's poor quality, you know, usually it's not a very good harmonium in terms of the care taken to build the harmonium. Of course, all of that, even if all of that looks good and the harmonium does not sound properly, then we have wasted a lot of time. So my advice to you would be, if you are purchasing a harmonium, get someone who plays harmonium, who is knowledgeable about the harmonium, to accompany you, if possible, to the store or wherever you are purchasing the harmonium. Then you can determine whether the harmonium is tuned properly. So the tuning of the harmonium is most important, because that determines the sound of the harmonium. And we can check. A simple check would be just play the notes that are 1 octave apart. Gives a good indication, as well as the first and the fifth in the scale. In this particular case, it's the C major scale. So first and fifth in the and so on. So that's one way of checking, but if you have someone who can accompany you and who knows about harmoniums, that would be the best bet. The other thing, very, very important when purchasing a harmonium, is the bellows. And you have different types. You have, in this case, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fold bellows. You have 7. You have some that open in the center, and so on. It's important that the bellows be able to pump enough air, as well as hold the air. So let's say I pump this harmonium, I can play. And it holds the air for a while. You should not have to continue pumping in order to get sound. There should be no leaks in the bellows, and so on. And that's very important. If you are purchasing a used harmonium, that's something that needs to be checked for sure. That fairly much sums it up and I will now talk about different brands of harmonium. Now that we have looked at the different types of harmoniums as well as what to look for when buying a harmonium, let me tell you a little bit about the different brand names. I have a list of harmonium types that are maybe we are more familiar with here in the West, in the West Indies, and in the USA and Canada. We have Bina, Pakrashi, Singh, which is Chet Singh Gurbakh Singh. Very, very popular because of the fact that I think Anup Jalota and several other artists use the Paul and Company, which one has to be careful because there are many fake Paul and Company harmoniums being sold. As well as the Bina, there are fake harmoniums as well. Also, Manoj Kumar Sardar, which is my harmonium that I've shown. That's very good quality. I have not seen any fakes. In fact, I haven't seen many of those harmoniums here in the US. I saw Geetanjali. I believe that's a brand out of Mumbai. I'm not sure. And very recently I saw a harmonium, not a physical harmonium, but I saw it on video, and I was very impressed with the tone, both of the Geetanjali and Arjalipi, Arjalipi. These are the brand names, and also you have those harmoniums that are built for the music stores, or in India as they are called, music houses. DMS would be in Delhi music stores. They have their own brand of harmonium, if you will, but I don't think they build them. They are built for DMS. And there are many more music houses or music stores which have harmoniums built for them. If you are going to India, you can go to the manufacturer and purchase a harmonium in some cases, or you can go to the music store and get a harmonium. There are also stores where harmoniums are sold, but they are not specialty music stores, and one would have to be very careful when purchasing harmoniums from these stores. Now, also the cost of the harmonium. The cost of a harmonium in India would be quite a bit less than it is in the US. I cannot speak about any other countries, I don't know. However, what I can tell you is that the cost of the harmoniums in the US are fairly expensive because of the shipping, and I hate to say it, but I think some of the stores here, their markups are ridiculously high on these instruments because they don't sell. I guess the volume is not there. You can also purchase a harmonium via the internet. I know Pakrashi sells via the internet. You make your payment, they receive their payment, and then they ship the harmonium to you. I know that because one of my students purchased his harmonium from them. I don't know of any more. I'm sure if you research this on the internet, you will see many stores or many harmoniums being sold. One has to be, of course, very careful, where you pay your money first. And you may pay your money and never receive a harmonium if it's not a reputable business. So this is another problem that people in the West face when purchasing a harmonium. Harmoniums can last very long if well taken care of. However, here in Florida, here I don't know of anyone who repairs harmoniums. Any repairs on my harmonium I do myself, the best I can. So my advice to anyone purchasing a harmonium would be purchase a new one, because of the fact that chances are you would not have to do any repairs for a while. And in terms of the cost of the harmonium, this is almost at the end of 2015, and harmonium prices vary significantly depending on the type of harmonium you purchase. If you are looking at a beginner's harmonium, in India you can probably buy a beginner harmonium anywhere from a good beginner harmonium for $200 US. Of course, that does not include shipping, and the prices go up to maybe up to even $1,000 US. The more expensive the harmonium does not necessarily mean the better the harmonium. And if you are now beginning, there is no need to spend that much money on a harmonium. It will not make you a better harmonium player. That's all I have, and I hope this is helpful to you, whoever is looking at this. And when you purchase the harmonium, don't forget, look at my other videos, and you will learn how to play the harmonium then. Thank you and have a good day.